Hey there, how's it going? We're glad to have you all here from all over the world. If you're new, welcome to the family. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, let's talk about a man like no other in the world of diplomacy, Sergey Lavrov. He might just be the only diplomat out there who's known for cursing out his opponents and cheating on his wife openly and without shame. And yet, in Putin's eyes, he's a saint, even though he's not ethnically Russian. Americans call him Mr. No because he rejects so many proposals. There was even a time when he reportedly got into a fistfight with the French president. But this isn't just about Lavrov, the official voice of Putin. We're here to show you another side of him, the man who's been the face of Russian foreign policy for 2 decades. A year after he became Russia's foreign minister, Lavrov visited Georgia in 2005. When asked about his roots, he said the blood running through his veins is Armenian, and nothing else. That's something most people don't know about him. Though he was born and raised in Moscow in 1950, his father was Armenian from Tbilisi, the capital of today's Georgia. Back then, it was all part of the Soviet Union, and Stalin, who was also from Georgia, ruled from Moscow. In the 1950s, Lavrov's family wasn't particularly important or influential, but like all kids under the Soviet system, he got free education and went on to study at the Faculty of Foreign Languages. Coming from an average background, he wasn't given the most important languages to learn. Instead, he studied Sinhalese, the language spoken in Sri Lanka, and another lesser-known Asian language. After graduating, the Soviet system made sure everyone had a job, so Lavrov was assigned to the Soviet embassy in Sri Lanka. He worked there until 1976, then returned to Moscow to join the Foreign Ministry's Department of International Economic Relations right in the middle of the Cold War. As a young man, Lavrov showed intelligence and promise. He mastered both English and French, which helped him climb the diplomatic ladder. In 1981, he was transferred to New York to work at the Soviet Union's permanent mission to the United Nations. He rose through the ranks, from first secretary to senior advisor, and stayed there until the USSR collapsed. That was a turning point. He witnessed firsthand how excited the Americans were, and how the West reacted to the fall of what was once the second most powerful country in the world. Suddenly he found himself representing a country that was falling apart. But like many Russians, he never gave up hope that Russia would rise again. Later, he was put in charge of overseeing international organizations working in post-Soviet Russia. Many of these groups were backed by the West, and Lavrov viewed them with suspicion, something that shaped his attitude and career going forward. In 1994, President Boris Yeltsin appointed him as Russia's permanent representative to the United Nations, a huge step in his career. Lavrov held that post for years, not because there was no one else, but because he proved himself strong-willed, bold, and fiercely protective of Russian interests. He became one of the most frequent users of the word no, or, more formally, Russia's veto power in the Security Council. He gained global recognition, and many Western diplomats dreaded going up against him. During his time at the United Nations, the world saw major events: the breakup of Yugoslavia, the Balkan Wars, the Chechen conflicts, and of course 9/11 and the United States War on Terror. Through it all, Lavrov stood firm, defending Russia's stance. That earned him Putin's trust, and in 2004, Putin made him the foreign minister, Russia's top diplomat and the voice of the Kremlin abroad. Since then, Lavrov has been in the job non-stop. He's now one of the longest-serving politicians in Russia's modern history. The only one who held the same post longer was Soviet-era Foreign Minister Andrei Gromyko, who served for 26 years and was the original Mr. No. But due to his similar style, powerful, articulate, and stubborn, the nickname was passed on to Lavrov, and he's done everything he can to live up to it. Lavrov has shown absolute loyalty to Putin and supported him through all major events, including the 2008 war with Georgia. In fact, during a tense meeting with then-French President Nicolas Sarkozy, things got so heated that the two men reportedly got into a physical fight. That's based on leaked diplomatic cables published by WikiLeaks, which mentioned that Sarkozy lost his temper after feeling tricked by Russia over the terms of a ceasefire. And that's not the only time Lavrov's aggressive side came out. At one press conference, he actually cursed out the journalists. He's got a tough personality, even though he's seen as the architect of Russian diplomacy. He's also constantly surrounded by rumors and scandals, and some of them are actually true. It's well known that he's cheated on his wife publicly. He's been married to a Russian woman named Maria for over 50 years, and they have one daughter, Ekaterina, who's married to a Russian businessman. But Lavrov also has another woman in his life, someone cameras have caught him with repeatedly. That woman is Svetlana Polyakova, his assistant at the foreign ministry and his travel companion on most of his trips. According to the Lines magazine, she's not just a colleague, she's his lover. In fact, she even ended up on the UK's sanctions list simply because of her connection to him. So yeah, Sergey Lavrov might be the only diplomat who swears at opponents and cheats on his wife without even trying to hide it. But in Putin's eyes, he's a saint. The Americans call him Mr. No for how often he shuts things down, and even once got into a fistfight with a Western leader. This is the other face of Lavrov, not just Putin's voice, but the